Now we should be live.
Alrighty, sweet deal. Yep, got it. Just got it. It's on the safety car screen now.
Alright. Welcome everyone to round 1. Finally.
Aggression, psychotic,
Yeah.
classic,
Go hard.
class. GTR2 gameplay with psychotic drivers. This is going to be round 1 of the Touring Car Manager Championship proper. I'm here with Lorenzo Turi, the series creator, founder, and tester. I'm Ted Ho. I'm going to be helping with the commentary today, just like I did in the preseason round. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we had a season round at, I believe, Autopolis, which was just a test. This is going to be the first race for points. It'll be of note to some of the owners of the teams that there have been some changes to balance. Namely, the Volvo Brickwagon 850s have had a significant buff so that they might actually be able to compete appropriately. We apologize that in the test race they weren't quite balanced. Round 1 is at Mantorp, quite tight. So some of the lighter cars with better handling characteristics and better drivers should see a really, really good race out of their combinations, and maybe some of the more power-focused teams will not. We're going to get right into it here and see how things go.
As per the rules, we'll have 2 races, both of 22 laps. Second race we will have a random grid, and it will award less points. So the main event is the first race, with a 15 minutes qualify. So let's go, we're ready. Let's see who can bring home the first point of the season, awarded for the pole position.
Such a weird track.
Yeah. Most peculiar fact about this track is that the back straight is actually a drag strip.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of that going on at various amateur circuits around the world, just because it's a good way to keep the track functional. You know, you can make money. You have the drag racers there, and then there's a good old drag racing strip as one of the main straights. Happens at my local circuit I race. Just gonna run through practice here, see how people do, and then we're gonna get to the qualifying proper, which is for keeps.
We can already have a short glimpse of the level of the field. Seems that Village is in a good form today.
Good, Stuck is doing good, Perot's good, Nadell also good. A lot of the manufacturer combos.
It's pretty much the levels we saw in the test race with Stuck and Pirro and Newhouse. All going for the win. And also Nadell.
Sure. Alesi, Nadell, Muller, Brack, Marrero all up there, Rick Scott, Will Hoy, Paul Radish.
Here we go, practice over. Let's take a short look at the standings. And we can actually see that the Volvos are a little bit better now. From what I've tested, they're still at the back in the qualifying, but they can make up a lot of positions during the race. So don't worry for those team managers.
They're not like a second to a second and a half a lap off anymore either, which is good. They're snugged up to the back end of the field.
Also, the Peugeot 405 received a small bump in power, I think. And as well as the Tom's Corona Exis, which got a weight reduction. Alright, let's go to qualify. Looks like we have rain at this time.
Oh, God, again.
It's gonna be fun. Let's see who gets us from the pits for first. Seems to be slightly less wet than last time.
It is, but it does say the track state is flooded. That could just be an art assets thing.
It doesn't seem to be raining, so it might dry up quickly.
Might have stopped in between sessions. Have to see what happens.
Even
I remember that even as it continued to rain, back at the Japanese preseason round, there was a dry line definitely forming by the end of the race. McCain is the first car on track.
Yeah, it's definitely not raining, so it's gonna dry up soon.
Got McCain out. Kasten Schmidt looks like he's on track.
Yep.
A couple of different guys out there.
One's taking their time.
Sekia is out in the factory Tom's Karina as well.
And here's the aforementioned drag strip. As you can see.
As you can see.
Start line.
You got the start gantry there, yeah.
And there's a long straight, which will favor cars with good power. And good drag as well.
Yeah, the drag does seem to make a significant difference as well, so if you're a team owner and you're looking at upgrades, if your car has a decent amount of power and it's fairly light, it might actually be worth going for drag next. It makes it... It makes a not insignificant difference. I'm not sure how much the drag coefficient affects the top speed here in at GTR2, but I was doing some testing for another racing league I'm in the other day, and we managed to kill a car at the Österreich ring when doing some preseason BOP in a touring car pack by changing the drag coefficient by, I think it was 0.3? 0.03 or something. Oh, yikes.
McCain found himself stuck behind a yellow who was leaving the pits. That's really unfortunate. Malaysia as well.
Both on a timed lap.
Yeah, they were starting the lap and yellow locked them.
Well, I mean, to be fair, when it's that wet, it's not like there's anything he could do.
I remind you that there are no penalties in this championship whatsoever, so a yellow is on the rights to do so.
Yeah, there's not really anything you can do about penalizing a fake driver. They're not real, they won't learn.
Unless he goes for the overtake. Well,
and actually gets it done all the way before the braking zone, too.
wants to get rid of the block in front.
Makes sense, yeah.
All the battles going on. This might be detrimental for your time, so need to find a good lap without traffic.
Whole bunch of little small groups of 3 to 4 cars stacked up behind each other right now. Tarquini in the Volvo 850 in front of a big group. Hoy in
Since
one of the
Hoy
privateer.
Since Hoy got a good lap.
Did seem to manage to get a decent time in.
The first lap is from a lazy one, 26.525, but everyone is improving, so let's wait and see.
Lacey was also in that group of people stuck behind that lapper coming out of the pits, so that's probably not representative. Thompson, Christensen, Menu, Cleland, all putting times in now. Tarquini's probably going to be next. He was in the Volvo 850. I'd look for him to put in a decent time early because he was in front of another group of cars. And it doesn't seem to be raining still. It does look like there's already a little bit of a dry line forming from what I can tell watching Hoy here. Yeah, you could see it. Just a little bit of a different color of tarmac on the center that they're running off the track with the Monsoon compound tires.
I'm really curious about Hoy's performance because in the test race he got stuck in traffic during qualifying and started from the back.
He did do, but whoever's behind him in that Mitsubishi Galant does seem to be doing quite well.
Miller.
It is Muller. All right.
He got the 5th place.
Yeah, and looking at that, Hoy is about 0.8 of a second slower, so he's actually holding Muller up right now, just slightly.
John Newhouse got the provisional pole.
The times are coming down massively. You could tell that there's a dry line forming. Depending on how long this session is, we're going to probably look for drivers to be switching tire compounds within the next 2 or 3 laps, because it does seem to be evolving by several seconds a lap every single lap with this many cars running.
Feels like the Styrian GP is qualifying.
Yeah. The puddles are being worked off. There's no fresh rain to really add anything down on the track, so it should switch from a wet to a dry session by the end. Caston Schmidt up there with a 122.9, again pulling out the good rain performance
Really good time.
in a backfield car.
Yeah. It's one of the top drivers, for sure.
Rydell improves, Newhouse, Hattori, and Nadell all improved on their last lap as well. Track looks like it evolved another second to second and a half last lap. I would say probably 1 or 2 more laps, and then people will either be switching to intermediates or softs. There is a significant dry line on the track now, as you can see, as they come through turn 1. Newhouse, first person to dip into 120 flat. We're going to see a 119 within the next couple of laps here, hopefully soon.
Yep, he's already improving.
3/10 up. That's more than enough to do it.
Want to watch Newhouse because in race 2 of the test round he was the only one to challenge Piro. He almost got the win. Seems he has some traffic ahead of him.
Looks like one of the Raven West Audis. Now, interesting thing about that is I expected the Audis to do a little bit better than they are, but I'm guessing because there's a dry line forming and they're all-wheel drive, they might be burning tires a little bit more. That'd be the only thing I can think of is the reason why they're not a little bit quicker right now. They do seem to be struggling.
They've also been considerably blocked because they were OP in their original form.
That's true.
And Newhouse goes for a 119.9.
And manages to clear Scott on the entry to turn 1 as well without too much significant impediment. Hattori also up there in one of the factory Toyota Carinas after a disappointing result for the preseason race.
Hattori's in the Dome Honda.
Oh, he is in the Dome. Okay.
No one is improving as of now, so...
Oh, it's Sekia in the other Honda.
I think it's Piro in the other Honda. Sekia
oh my god.
Business owner in the Works Toyotas.
Huge conga line of cars going on right here. Everybody tucked up in it, Schmidt in it.
Into the pits. It's Stuck.
Stuck probably either going for inters or fresh softs if they don't think it's dry enough yet.
We have 7 minutes left, so plenty of time for another lap.
If I was one of the drivers, I would definitely be looking at intermediates or maybe even risking full dries at this point, looking at the racing line. Not much spray being thrown up as people go through.
Knowing GTR2, that's probably where the full dries at the moment. You can easily go with slicks. Get a decent time because they don't overheat.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually that's quite impressive in the negative side for Rail West because they are in second to last and last position at the moment.
Yeah.
Wow. Looks like they need to improve the setup knowledge for the wet.
Maybe we'll have to see what happens in the race. There was quite a lot of odd.
Oh, and people started improving again. Mueller got the best time.
Brian up more. Mueller is still in the 119.9s, but now there's 2 people in the 119s. I don't think anybody in that big line of cars that's stacked up together is going to improve. They all seem to be slowing each other down a bit.
It's between Mueller and Newhouse at the moment. Separated by a few cents.
Newhouse is up by a 1/10. I would put him in the 119.8s if he manages to net it.
Oh, they're close. They're extremely close. I think it's
yeah, Mueller also with a 1/10 improvement.
Newhouse goes for the 19.7. Let's see Mueller.
Squared off the apex of the last corner, quite nice.
Oh, 740 versus 781.
Oh god, that's close.
It's gonna be intense in the last minutes.
Seem to be probably the only 2 people that are really out on track improving anymore. Everybody else diving into the pits. Newhouse also up on his current lap again.
I think the times in orange are those of the cars that are out on track, and the times in in white because
So we might see something out of Hattori, might see something out of Nadell. Menu might improve depending on how dry the track is and how much they got held up. I know McRae, Radish, Schmidt, and Zelich were all in that big conga line of cars slowing each other down, so they might not improve, I don't think, down there from kind of 16th to 20th.
Try to get an onboard view, but... Oh, and he was lap. What? Was
Wow, he was up massively too. I wonder if he's not trying to put dries or intermediates on, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. He has 4 minutes left.
The outlap delta, including the trundle down the pit lane, is probably about a minute to a minute and 35 seconds.
Miller is improving as well as Telic.
And we do see people starting to leave the pits again now.
Yeah, Stuk is leaving. Ooh, wow. 19.744. It's close.
If I was Muller, I would get in this lap, put dries on, and do one more.
Let's see if we can find... Oh, there it is. Telic is improving as well. He's going for the fastest lap.
Mm-hmm.
By 2/10. I may sound a bit biased about him, but that's my team, so deal with it.
I don't know what compound he's in, but guessing by the fact that he was in the pits for so long and then came out again, he might be on the dries now or inters.
Ingress Paul, 119.489.
489. Track's definitely evolving all the time still.
Mueller is also improving. Yet again. Village is going for another purple sector.
Yeah, track's drying all the time. I don't know why there aren't more people out on track right now. There's been a lot of people in the pits for the vast majority of the session that could definitely improve just because the track is starting to dry in.
I think they probably leave now. There's 2 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Could be.
Yeah, sometimes it's difficult to get in the head of the AI and understand.
Yeah, there's 2:30 left, so there's definitely a safe enough gap to leave the pits, do an outlap, and one more flyer, and the track is drier right now.
Yeah, a lot of people is leaving now. You see times becoming orange.
Oh yeah, whole gaggle of them. Now they're all going to slow each other up because they didn't leave earlier, though.
Phyllis improves, 19.3.
As he goes by the pit lane, there's another person coming out. Sekia and Scott just both got on track as well. Cleveland, Rydell, Christensen all left on track. Brack just joined. Thompson just joined. The only people not on circuit now are Newhouse, Muller, Hattori, Radish, McRae, Schmidt, Aiello, and McCain. A whole bunch of people just joined the circuit. And the cutoff is probably in about 2 or 3 seconds from now. Anybody not on circuit probably wouldn't get another time lap in.
Ooh, there's a big pile up there.
Whole bunch of people stacked into turn 1. Some on flyers, some not.
Oh, he does lap is completely ruined.
This is really bad. This is exactly what we expected to happen with everybody leaving the pit so late. Nobody's going to get a clean lap, and they should have left 30 seconds or a minute earlier if possible.
They were waiting until the last second to get the best condition out of the track.
This is literally Spielberg Grand Prix Q2 2020.
Yeah. Also, McRae and Schmidt just left the pits. I think it's just a warm-up lap. Race at this point. As of now, nobody's improving. The track is pretty much dry now. at least on the racing round. So, as it stands, if nothing changes, Village got the first point of the season, ahead of Newhouse and Mueller. With Hoy following finally a good performance from Hoy. I knew the car could do it.
Mueller aborted his lap. He's in the pits. Newhouse is still on one.
Then we have Attori, Miguel, Moreno. Pirro only in 8th place after 2 wins in the season round. It's gonna be interesting to see if he can come back. Menu, good performance from Menu. Doesn't, considering that he's driving at 53.
Yes.
And Thompson, Breck, Alesi, Bila, Lennon, Christensen, Rydell, Takmini, Stuck, Radicic, Sekia, McRae, Schmidt, Yellow, and the 2 Raven West guys, Scott and McCain.
A lot of surprises at the bottom of the field. Both the Raven West cars, Schmidt, Sekia, Stuck, and Radish all down there is kind of not what we expected to see.
And we also acknowledge that now the estate was completely fixed, because they aren't on the back of the field anymore. They're right in a bunch. Alright, I think it's over. All the cars are in the pits. And these are the final standings. Thelic, Ferrati, Sorvalau gets pole. Sharing the first row with Newhouse. So, should we go to the race?
Yeah, why not? Might as well. It's there. We can do it.
Let's see if it's still raining. Oh, and it's dry. Sun is shining.
Excellent.
Alright, let's go to the grid. Have a grid walk. A virtual grid walk, at least.
Got Zelich on pole with Newhouse in second. Mueller in third in one of the Mitsubishis. After that, it's Lacey and Hoy rounding out the top 5.
Oh, I think Alesi improved on last second.
Yes,
because
I believe he
Hoy
did.
was in fault.
And then Thompson and Notori, Japanese second row. Nidell and Monero after them. After them, it's Piero and Menu in the fastest of the Mazda 323Fs. Good result from him. Kenny Brack and Biela in the next row. Second Mazda 323 of Cleveland, and one of the works Toyotas of Christensen after them. After that, it's Rydell and Tarquini. Tarquini in the faster of the 850 Estates. After them, it's Stuck and Radish. Then Sekia in the second Toyota factory car, and McRae in the second factory 850 Estate. Behind them, rounding out the grid, it's Kasten Schmidt, Aiello, Scott, and McCain.
Everything's ready. Here we are for the start of the season in Mantorp.
We do have a start. Clean getaway by Zelich, really, really nice. Newhouse already under attack by Mueller for second behind. Lazy around the outside. Close, but really, really nice. Couldn't make it stick, but got very, very close indeed. There's some shuffling in the midfield already. Brack has lost quite a few positions.
There's been a crash. And he's beat.
Oh no!
in the air. For a second. Something has happened.
Tremendous accident.
Let me just go to the pits quickly. There we go. So Zelich leaving the field. I have a Newhouse, Mueller, Alesi and Hoy.
Everybody pretty much holding station so far up front.
This corner is gonna be one of the main.
You got that fast left that then sets up the next right-hander. Very, very good for working close and then doing a brake dive. Cleland made up a few positions. Tarquini, Lucre, Sakia all running nose to turn. Schmidt in the back, not apparently suffering from too much damage.
Let's hope so. Got punted really badly, yeah.
He's like an entire car length in the air with the back. The big lifted diesel American truck.
Nobody's pulling away right now.
Yeah, really tight grouping up front. We'll have to see how the tire wear comes in here, because I know when we did the preseason race, some of the cars definitely seem to burn tires and lose pace late in the race. So the fact that everybody's holding station right now is a good indicator that there might be some shuffling later in the race as the cars heat up, the brakes fade, the tires warm in. Makes it stick. Very clean.
Yeah, we know from the test race that Pierre has all the pace he wants.
Stuck doing a good job making up positions. That car definitely struggled in the rain, and expect him to be further up front by the end of the race. Definitely in the points.
He's already tackling Nathan McCain.
Big conga line in the back that seems tucked up behind Christensen and Tarquini.
I think Mueller is getting closer to Newhouse now.
Seems like it.
And Lazy as well.
And Zelich pulling away a little bit.
He can benefit from this situation. Yep, Newhouse punching up the field. Lazy really seeking for a gap. The Alpha Partner straight line.
Yeah, it is down the drag strip. It looks like they do have themselves a drag race. He's getting close.
There he is. Ooh, that was a late dive. Great maneuver from the French driver. French on French, by the way. Also Miller. Now he's going for Newhouse.
Man, he's really tucked up there already.
Well, after all, it's PHP's home race in Sweden, so...
He's going to want by while the tires are still fresh, and he has that straight line advantage, so he can take advantage of the drag onto the drag strip. Zelich putting in fastest times up front.
Newhouse seems to have pulled a little gap.
Just a little bit of one. It looked like Muller took an exploratory little look down the inside of a Lacey that he probably had to cadence brake for and close off just slightly.
Oh boy. Tried the late move on Hattori. Now he's lost some
I think that was actually Hattori getting by Hoy for the first time, because Hoy had been in 5th previously.
Really?
Yeah, through the previous Delta.
That's the case.
I could be wrong, but I thought he was in 5th the whole time, and Hattori's been moving up from about 7th or 8th on the grid for a while now.
Let's see if Mueller can reply to the same attack. I saw him tumble down to 4th place.
Toe is really strong on the back straight, but it doesn't look like it's quite enough.
Maybe here. Some late braking. Newhouse is Zelich. Battle for the lead.
Got a nose in.
Inside.
Go to the outside for the last corner. Oh. Yep. Very nice.
He sets the fastest lap. Remind you that the fastest laps are worth 1 point. Just like F1. So it's worth nothing. Let's see the situation at the back. Thompson pulling a really good performance in 9th place. Was nowhere near the front of the field in the test race.
Stuck is really quick. He's moved up from about 28th on the grid to 12th already, and he put in the fastest lap of the race last time by.
Another recovery drive from him. See if he can really attack Moreno. on the outside, ball move if he does it.
I don't think he has a straight line. Oh.
Didn't work really well.
Well, that's disastrous for the BMW driver, undoing a lot of the work that he put in earlier.
Poor Moreno. I think the folks at Random Racing won't be happy about this.
Definitely not.
It's gonna be drama.
Kasten Schmidt up to 23rd with no right rear suspension. See if Stuck can keep going after that hit.
He's trying to attack the Raven West bunch.
Let's go! The power of the Chiquita banana.
David versus Goliath. Right here. We come back to him late. Oh! And Sikia is in last place actually. Something must have happened.
He has seemed to be slowing down progressively throughout the race. I wonder if he isn't nursing something like brakes or some aero damage.
That's really unfortunate. And for the first race we also have a Works Cup for the free manufacturer teams. And it's treated as a championship in a championship. They have their own point system. Let's see who wins it.
Oh, probably not Raven West right now.
Yeah. They're not in a good position. Ooh, Vidal coming to the field is already in 7th place.
Vittori, Stuck, Nadal, both, all three of them doing really good jobs.
Vidal wasn't exceptionally fast in touring cars, but he has quite a lot of experience, and it's showing. This nice battle between Thompson. Menu running for Team Falcon, while Thompson is the ambassador for Russian quad racing.
And then you put in that little bastard 323 places where it definitely doesn't belong, wheeling it real good.
Stuck is trying to recover from this mistake.
It looks like he already has. He was in 12th at the time of that attempted overtake, and now he's in 11th.
See if he tries to move again, but I doubt so. It's too far away now. Gets closer, bubble of the gymnast.
Now behind them, it looks like Rydell and Clillan going at it for two of the last points-paying positions. Points but do pay it down only to 15th.
Yep, exactly.
So that's the important cutoff. People on the outside looking in that might be able to work up there right now are...
It's really bad exit there.
Really bad. Having to dip the grass to try to get by and just killing all that corner speed, losing a position. Dropping out of the points and putting Moreno, into them. And then he's also going to lose another position, it looks like, here to Cleland. Yeah.
So now for the big punt there by Moreno.
Big one.
Right into for the Works Cup, we have a Volvo 1-2.
Yeah.
Powerbird. Christensen is close.
He is close. Sakia not doing Toyota any favors down there in 25th, though, that's for sure. Ooh, McRae getting a little bit of an apex loosening up from Radish right there, and Kasten Schmidt on the outside looking in to take advantage of that. He is going to pull along down the drag straight. And I would say cleanly by, but I know as the team owner of that car that the drag coefficient on it is garbage, so even with that much of a run, he might get pulled back, although it doesn't look like it.
Suspension at the front. There's a big battle going on for second place at the moment.
All in a cell here. Newhouse, Alesi, Hoy, Muller, all in it.
Yeah, I was 100% sure that Hoy would be a contender. It's one of the most powerful cars in Greenwood. one of the best drivers.
We are about 12 minutes into the race now, so we should be working something like lap 9 or 10 and close to the halfway
Lap
point.
9, I believe.
Excellent.
Of 22.
Still a lot to play for. It's quite early. Zelich isn't getting away from Newhouse, despite the defensive driving that Newhouse is having to do, which is interesting.
Yeah, it has some chances to increase its gap. It looks like it didn't take that. Newhouse is glooming on him.
Good. I'm noticing that Newhouse is making a lot of time in the braking zone in the slower speed sectors of the track, but the Alpha is doing really, really well down the drag strip and in the tower sections. You know, and looking one or two back, Lacey and Hoy are holding up Hittori, Muller, Riddell, and Piero all behind them in a great big conga line. They want by. They want up front. They think they're fast enough to go and get the lead, too. And Piero and Thompson are going to suck up to the back of them if they keep getting slowed down by the people in front, too. Hittori looking everywhere, especially around the outside at turn 1 and some of the other longer radius corners, just trying to find the way by.
I think he needs to watch his back.
Swings out a little bit. Muller likes to do a little bit of the fender kiss, it seems like.
And this is touring cars, so if you make a mistake by trying an overtake, you can get past immediately.
Yeah, somebody
other ones will be behind you. Really feeling the home race boost, DHB.
Big home race boost. We'll have to see. I don't know. I have a suspicion that Newhouse's Carina is a little bit heavier, and it's going to eat those front tires a little bit more than the Alphas as well. He does seem to be dropping back from Zelich.
Yeah, that's the case. But the Carina is more a grip car, so
defend
pretty well in mixed sections.
I've noticed that it does make up a lot of time on the brakes in the last sector where the slower corners are at. And into turn 1 there, you can see a little bit of a gap forming as well.
See how it's pulling away from... Oh, Lizzie is slowing down nicely.
Ooh, even a little bit of a brake test on Hoy, who backs him up into Miller.
Let's see now, they're close.
Stuck is fallen back to 11th after fallen back to 12th after making his way up to 11th or 10th again, still with the fastest lap. Pretty equal here between Hoy and Lacey on the main straight.
Hard to see a Mantorp Park difference of 2 horsepower difference in the two cars. Slightly more drag on the front. Oh, strand attack. Strand attack.
Big.
Bad exit, but yeah. And Wihol gets 3rd place. Oh, under contact.
Oh man, that's gutting. Lacey getting a punt right in the left rear from Menu. Menu's just on a tear today.
It's Muller.
Muller, excuse me.
Showing all his aggression there. It's already the 2nd major contact we have in this race. Oh, I think it's the 3rd actually, counting the initial one, the Schmidt.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm sorry.
That's gutting for Schmidt. If he didn't get his car ruined by Muller early in the race, they'd probably both be up there.
Vila here going for the attack on
Here, snugging up for the final points positions here.
And here
11th.
Here we have a race in a race because the two Toyotas of Russian Pride and Team JRA might be a different model, but they have the exact same specs. So it's gonna be interesting by the end of the season to see who's in front.
Ooh, Stuck looking around the outside, and he gets it done.
Got a really bad entry, slugged it off.
Yale just a little bit sideways on the brakes, and that's all Stuck needed.
Attacking menu, taking no prisoners in this race.
Yeah,
Maximum
really
aggression.
needs all those positions after losing so much time in qualifying because of the rain hurting the rear-wheel drive concept. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it up to Thompson and Piero and manages to get both by the end of the race, too. He's still got quite a few laps left. Monero running comfortably in the last position. Brack and Monero kind of spread out in their own group of two, way ahead of Christensen, who's in the middle, and then another gap back to Tarquini, Radish, Cleland, McRae, and Schmidt, all kind of tucked up in a group. So it looks like the final couple positions for points of Rydell, Brack, and Moreno might stay that way for the rest of the race. I'm not sure if the people between 16th and 20th in that kind of cell behind them have enough pace to catch up.
Well, talking about pace, there's none to be seen here with Raven.
Yeah. Might have overbucked the Raven West cars just a little bit.
Actually, they quite fast, quite fast on pretty much every track. Must be the luck of Sweden, maybe. I don't know.
Luck of Sweden. I don't know. The AI also do strange things. There's tracks they're oddly slow at and things like that.
We were almost missing battle for the lead.
Newhouse is snugged right back up to the back of Zelik a bit.
I think it's a yellow. There it is. Yellow is gone.
It is Aiello.
What is going on?
Oh no! And Radish has put it right in a wall. Completely on his own. From a points position, no less.
That's a really big mistake.
Looks like he just locked up the rears and nosed it right in. There's going to be a local.
Before the race, I was wondering that wall might be dangerous.
Yeah, it's kind of right there on the inside of the car. Yep, he had to retire the car. Poor guy.
In the heap of a second, we lost both Redisic and the yellow. Very unfortunate.
Moreno put in the fastest lap last lap, too, out down there in 15th.
Oh, look at Hoy!
Oh, Hoy the boy around the outside.
Hoy! Almost put in the grass by Newhouse. That move was on the limit. Now, if you could hear the team radios, we will hear a lot of warnings about that wall. Stay away from it.
Stuck is caught back up to the group fighting between 5th and 9th. He's on the back of it looking for positions.
He's trying to overtake Piero. He got the fastest lap in the meantime.
You know, this track with its slower speed first and final sector, you know, that BMW isn't the fastest in the straight line, but those low speed corners that the rear wheel drive can get the drive out of is really suiting it well.
Look at this line.
There's a huge conga line between 2nd and 9th. It's everybody in it for like the top half of the field. Probably not. Doesn't look like that BMW has a lot of straight line speed. The braking, though, he's done this on the brakes before. He's done it around the outside too, but just not close enough that lap.
He recalled that last attempt.
It'd be nice to not have a caved in door. Crinkling his arm.
Trying to move on a Tori.
Got him. I think he'll. Oh, no, he won't. Okay.
Got the inside in the next corner.
Honda Accord.
Accordingly to his Honda, he made it. Let's see a Moreno flying. And that's Christensen.
Christensen up into the points.
I'm attacking the Volvos for the Works Cup. While Sekia is in 21st position at the moment.
That group, that cell behind them, these groups that we're currently watching is 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th, or down to 16th, it looks like, with Biela on the end. The group with Tarp, Queenie, McRae, Cleland, and Schmidt is behind them, but they do seem to be catching up because Brack, I think, is holding Monero up, who does get the move done that time.
Now, Princess is looking for back, okay. 850 GRP. Quite an hefty deck.
She's square and pretty, that's for sure.
Yeah, all the manufacturer cars are pretty big. Also, the exit looks like a limo sometimes. Bila is missing this rear bumper.
Just all of it. Normally, we've seen that people only get tagged and miss like half of it. It's very rare to see all of it gone and the car not retired.
It seems to have a split in the main pack.
It must have happened while we were away from them, but it looks like 6th, 7th. In the gravel all the way, but he's going to clear him, though. He'll get that 8th after that, I think.
I have the feeling that the BMW is an all-rounder. Can do good on every track.
It does seem to be really, really good everywhere. It is just slow in a straight line, though. Can't imagine being Hans-Joachim Stuck in there and feeling the frustration of overtaking somebody through a corner to just have them drive by you the next straightaway must not be great.
Let's see if we can make a move while also keeping an eye on the front pack if there's anything to reckon. Now we're doing the final stages of the race, lap 17 and 22. Velic controlling the race from start to finish.
Hoy wants by Newhouse.
Yeah,
I think Newhouse.
Newhouse
doesn't. Yeah, Newhouse doesn't have the pace to catch up to Zelich, but he can keep him in check. So Hoy, if Hoy can clear him in the next 1 or 2 laps, he might be able to get down to. Ooh, Lacey taking a look. He might be able to get up to Zelich and try to make a move for the lead. But if he doesn't do it right now, he can't get him.
Yeah, needs to get rid of Newhouse. If he got going for a lace there. Trying to make up his position immediately, but Newhouse slowed down a lot too.
I think Newhouse is holding this whole front pack up quite badly.
Yeah. Crafting to second place. Miller was feeling a rally so scared. Stay away from the wall guys. The battle of the Hondas with Atori with
Honda's still going at each other. This is definitely. Yeah. This is definitely why they fell off the back of that group in front of them earlier, but if they can get it settled between them, they'll suck right back up for sure, because I definitely think Newhouse is holding 2nd through 5th back in that little cell.
Christensen got 2nd place in the Works Cup at the moment. Looks like they're still controlling the race and trying to overtake this duo of Thompson and Mendy. 70th place, ahead of Colin McRae. As some Spanish F1 driver would say, now they can fight.
Now they can fight.
Still have some development work to do, but it's meant to be like that. Just leaving the back now.
Schmidt and Sekia.
Oh, look at me there.
On the inside of Hoy. He might have the aggression that Hoy didn't have to get by Newhouse up there in front too.
Yeah, he said, let me try. I might do what you weren't able to do.
The only problem is, I'm watching this. Every lap they go by the control line, they're falling farther and farther back from Zelich as Newhouse leads this pack.
Lap 20 now.
I don't think even if Muller gets him this time, he has enough laps left. He's going to run out of laps.
Newhouse is playing cat and mouse now. Pulling a gap. Decided this time to push. Oh, Smith has retired.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
We'll have to see on the post-race what it was, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was suspension damage from that hit he took earlier in the race. He seemed to be hurting the whole time.
We'll see later. It's reporting in the standings. Unfortunate race for Cleland as well, considering that Menu is in 10th place with the same car.
Yeah.
Lap 21. Mueller is going for second place. Rock solid defense from John Newhouse.
And see, what Newhouse is doing really, really well is because he's slower. Since he's slower through most of the corners that lead to the long main straight, he makes the drivers behind him have to slow down. So then he launches onto the main straight as fast as he can go, but the other drivers are getting a worse launch than they would normally get. So you'll notice they suck up to him all the way through the last sector in Sector 1, and then they're so close to him that he's so slow in front of them leading onto the drag strip that then they can't get a launch to go by him. Which is exactly what you need to do if you're slower than somebody. You need to intentionally stack them up the places they can't get by, leading to a straightaway so they can't get a launch and a run to pull by you. He's doing everything he needs to do, really.
I got stuck behind the braking zone and lazy.
Yeah, exactly.
In this situation.
Exact same kind of thing that Newhouse is doing to everybody behind him is allowing all the drivers fighting in this cell between 2nd and 8th position to kind of leapfrog each other constantly as they get in a big conga line and stack up.
Last lap now.
Newhouse is a lot closer to Zelich than I thought he would be.
I think Zelich got a bit too much relaxed there. Let's see, maybe he's in control. Doesn't need to push anymore. Battle for second is still on. Mueller looking for a gap.
Nothing in it though.
Foy is tumbling down the field. Oh, look at Lazy. Lazy wants the podium.
It'd be nice to see Lacey get by Muller after all the beating and banging Muller's done on all the other drivers. There you go. Cleared. Very clean. Very nice.
All his F1 experience paid off. That's the last corner. And Marcus Delic wins the first round, the first race of the Race of Sweden 1995 TCM.
Newhouse very close in second, and then Alesi rounding out the podium after Muller and Hoy fought up there for the whole race. Hans-Joachim Stuck catching up to the back of that pack, racing for the lead by the end, setting the fastest lap.
Rydell got the win for the World Cup.
In 11th position overall, then Thompson, Christensen, Moreno, and Brack rounding out the points-paying positions. Finishers that won't be classified for points are Biela in 16th, then Tarquini, McRae, Cleland, Sekia, McCain, and Scott. DNFs from Schmidt, Radish, and Aiello. Seki, a very disappointing performance for the Works Toyota down there in 20th. I wonder what happened. I know he had a very unlucky qualifying and started deep in the grid. I'm not sure if he was the driver who got involved with Schmidt, but there were 2 or 3 drivers down there definitely getting damage in that early dust-up in the first couple corners.
There we go. Race over. We'll take screenshots of the standings. Let's see what happened to the 3 guys. Schmidt got an engine failure, apparently.
Oh wow, interesting. Definitely not what I expected to happen after he got that dunk in the rear earlier in the race. Last time he had a retirement, I believe it was brakes or suspension failure instead.
A yellow found himself without brakes. And it's also listed as a brake failure for Radicic.
Must have been what put him in the wall. Maybe he had his front brakes fail and only had rears.
Maybe one of the wheels locked up. Found himself straight in the wheel.
Failed caliper. Does happen.
There we go. First win of the season by Delic of Racing Team Sonval. Second place for MSA. Third place for the home team BHP. There's something else I have to say, but oh yeah. Only the drivers who complete 75% of the race will be classified and will be given prizes and points. So Schmidt gets his prize money, but Radicic in the yellow get nothing basically.
I'll take it. We need everything we can get.
There we go. Race over. And now we'll have to race 2 immediately. No qualifying. And let's see what happens with a random grid. Oh, looks like John Newhouse already has a match point here. Starting from pole, second place we have Colin McRae, who now should be able to hang on. Third place from Bila, Brack in fourth place, Sekia right behind, Scott in sixth, then Hoy, Christensen, Stuck, Tarquini, Miller, Radicic, Cleland, McCain, Moreno, Thelic only in 16th place, he'll have some comeback to do. Then a yellow, Pirro, Hattori, Rydell, Menu, Thompson, Alesi, Nidel, Schmidt, oh, double unlucky now. This time.
Oh.
And the safety car.
A lot of manufacturer drivers up front. The first, I don't know, 8 to 10 cars are almost 50 or 60% factory drivers, it seems like.
Yeah, they're all bunched up. Should be great for the Works Cup. Here we are the pole for the Works Cup with Brack and Sekia. And Raven.
Brack, Sekia, and one of the Raven Wests all in a line there.
And also Christensen far behind.
Yep, only 2 back to Christensen. Stuck up front in that BMW after last race, I think, is going to be an absolute weapon.
Also, the Hondas and the other Alphas are pretty back in the field. Will all lead to a fun race.
Having one of the 323s up front will definitely be interesting, I think.
Here we go. Race 2 of round 1 from Sweden.
Grid's clear. We have a start. Oh, come on, McRae. I want to see the brick in the lead. Takes a look, but not quite there, unfortunately. Brack immediately making a move on the inside of Biela at turn 1, which will put him on the outside for turn 2. Snugged up nice and close. He's going to get edged out here, it looks like. Maybe? Stuck with a good start. I think that's Cleland in the 3-2-3 losing positions immediately, causing some of that stack up.
That's probably the case. Newhouse trying to pull away.
Clean break from Newhouse already. Get in there, Tarquini. Mueller not making himself any friends last race, and that 850 does seem to be putting in some work now. Even on the inside of Sekia, getting two in the same corner, it looks like. Last time I checked, 5 cylinders is more than 4, and a bigger number is better power.
I need to remove my cap. Just in time.
Wouldn't want the safety car to kill anybody.
Yeah. It would have been a race restart for the
Stuck already up into 5th.
So
Hoy wants in there.
Red line there. Jump over the curb. McCree doing everything he can to stick to second.
Look at the gap. Oh my god.
He was away on the straight, and he loses everything as soon as a corner appears.
Really is a muscle car of a Lego brick, that's for sure.
Newhouse has already a significant gap.
I think the interesting thing about this race is going to be with Newhouse gapping the field because McRae's slowing everyone from second on back up so much that the front field won't separate itself quite as much as it did in the first race. The longer McRae keeps them bunched up, I think the more the back marker cars are going to get sucked up into the fight for the points positions in the lead compared to the previous round.
Look at this. The outdated private car.
Second,
keeping up with
second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. I see 13th, 14th, 15th. They're all in this big line right here. All the way down to the final points position. Stuck just absolutely in there again.
There is. Tries to move on Dula.
He's going to make that stick. There's no way he doesn't make that stick.
He has the outside now. It's pretty difficult.
If there's any car that can do the outside line from the crossover, it's the rear-wheel drive Bimmer.
I think that's more of a racing reason. No.
That was real close. That's a no fault. They were both there and it just happened. Joachim Schuckel wants his race though. Yela's still doing a fantastic job, especially compared to some of the drivers in the factory Toyotas that are newer.
There's a bit of combat here.
Giro and Cleland. Cleland's been falling back all race, but he's definitely fighting tooth and nail, hammer and claw for every point. Radish by Tarquini. And then the longer Tarquini is in front of this group, again, in his 850 estate, the more he's slowing up this second group that's all fighting for points as well. If we look at this, just about everybody in the field is in this for the points positions because of how stacked up they are.
Kenny Breck has got impressed.
As you can see, he's already starting to pull up on Newhouse a lot. So the more McRae holds this gap back, and the quicker the second... So there's two groups forming, what I see. McRae all the way down to about 15th with Hattori and Zelich on the end, and then the next 850 down to about 25th. So the 850s are the key. So it's Tarquini, it's it's McRae down to Radish, and then Tarquini all the way down to 25th in two big groups that are separated and capped off by the 850s. Although there's more people getting by McRae every lap. He let Stuck and Rack by in the last lap. He lost 2.
Yep. I guess the big boy.
This is good. The longer he can hold these guys back, the more of a race we've got. And I'm actually kind of happy about this. He's doing a good job. He might manage to finish in the points. Even if he let everybody here by and just focused on going as fast as he can, with the gap they've got to the second group behind, he might still be able to finish in the points by the end of the race. Stuck wants by Brack because Stuck is definitely faster, and he could probably catch Newhouse by the end of the race for sure.
Rick Scott, still long enough. Oh, and Sekia is trying to move on Bila. Sekia redeeming himself on disappointing race 1.
Around the outside, and then we'll have the inside for the next one.
Look at this bunch! Boy, getting patient there. Wants to get past. Do leg or break.
McRae on Scott. McRae doing a great job defensively here.
McRae doesn't have much track time on touring cars.
Asphalt.
Yeah. But he took part to a BTCC round, I think in 92. Kill. So he knows how to drive these things. Now Scott is attacking Sekia for the second place in the World Cup. This was a good move. Because now Bila is trying.
All he did with that move was slow himself down the main straight and give Biela an opening, which then gave Muller an opening on Biela.
And Eurotex both.
Now all of these guys are going to have to get sucked back up and caught back up to McRae and then get by him, who's slowing the people in front of him down. In this huge group from Tarquini on down, all stacked into each other again.
How lazy. Shaving
all the way in the grass.
Let's see if Newhouse can keep this gap. Just to keep calm and relaxed.
Seems
mistakes.
to me like Stuck is really fast in the late phase of the race because of the rear-wheel drive tire management, so we'll have to see what happens.
Brack is holding him quite nicely at the moment. Oh, I spoke too soon. Here's the attack from Stuck.
Those 850s are fast in a straight line, though. Stuck on through, yep.
Maybe. Now he's gonna try and catch Newhouse in the MSR Carina. McRae is holding off. Good holding.
Yeah, he's done a remarkable job, and they've actually gapped Sekia and Muller behind them.
Or might need some time to pull down his tires and try again later. The more he waits, the more the guys in front pull away.
Uh-huh.
It seems to me that the gap has already shortened.
Hoy put in the fastest lap last lap before Stuck and Brack both traded it a couple of times, so it'll be interesting to see.
Oh, look at Brack. I heard the 5-cylinder on the outs.
He's right in there, and that car is fast in a straight line, but look at the way the rear-wheel drive launches off there.
got the 850.
I love it. It's great. It's glorious.
See how much it's losing right on the braking zone.
Craig keeping a nice tight line compared to Hoy, though.
Which is quite a statement for Colin McRae. Rice is in good performance in 10th place. His team needs it.
Tarquini still in 11th. Big conga line of cars behind him.
Really disappointing. Rydell.
It looks like Menu is holding back Rydell Leo Schmidt quite badly. And now they've fallen off the back of the group in front of them that's being held back by Tarquini. So it's kind of an unfortunate development for some people that we thought might have earned some points.
Stuck is already closer and closer.
And that advantage is just going to multiply as the race goes on with how nice that rear-wheel drive BMW 318 looks after its tires. So really, really watch that.
Newhouse feeling the pressure. Losing ground.
Brack losing ground to Stuck, but closing on
Look at
Newhouse as well.
Stuck. Gained like 4 seconds in 3 corners. He's on a roll. I'm really trying to overtake.
It's just a peek. It's just a warning shot.
It's close now. Let's see if we can try something after the big straight. Still holding this 4th place. There we go. I think it's still too far. Maybe next lap. We are trying to catch the bunch up front. Scott is getting past secure in 7th place and 2nd place in the World Cup. Rice is up to 9th, being attacked by Vila.
Vila has the nose in there.
The inside line isn't really favoring that.
No. Because there's no apex curve, so you have to sling it through the grass.
Thanks, he's lost another position. Took away from. Ooh! And he's got on the back. Also, I think Hoy managed to pass Colin McRae. Yep. And he's already attacking Kenny Brack. But the outside line is dangerous here, as we've seen in race 1.
He's got the line though, and you can make it. You can make it stick on the next one. You can hold this.
McRae is trying to find a gap.
Got that big launch. Oh, let's go.
So close.
If I were McRae, I would just consolidate that position.
Yeah, same. It's already gold for him.
Lay back, watch the tires, take care of the brakes, don't do anything dumb.
12. There he goes on the inside. No. Not yet. He's playing close to the ball shot. Here we have part of the bunch that fought for the ring. In race 1. With Tiro, Tori, Felic, Alesi,
Doing themselves a little bit of a scrap for the final points positions now. And this group behind them does seem to have sucked up to them a little bit and caught up. Sekia putting in quite a nice drive today on this
Really
site.
competitive this race too. Must be angry as hell for what happened in race 1. Because he has the pace. Just compared to his teammate that is in 19th place at the moment. Miller trying to find a gap on McRae. Oh! Big knock on the door there.
A little bit more than a knock. It's a whole push. He opened the door and stuck one foot in.
And now I really want to be McRae because there's a train
not at all.
behind him.
It's good for us, though. We want to see more of these cars racing close, and if he can keep them behind and slow them down a bit, that whole group fighting from about 10th to 24th will also suck onto the back of this. Train does keep things a little bit more exciting as the overtakes happen.
Relazic on Rick's Cup. Rick's Cup is Sekia. And Bila goes past Relazic. That's what I was talking about earlier. If you make a mistake overtaking someone, the drivers behind you will exploit the situation immediately and get past you. Newhouse once again trying to pull a gap. Seems to have worked this time. Rush took a loss on ground. Rethinking the battle behind me. Managed to escape this time. So Tarquin is riding the bunch. Might have his chance as well.
There you go. And then if you look at back at this, back between 12, the group of Clellan, Pirlo, Zelich, Monero, Nadella, Lacey, Christensen, Menu, Rydell, McCain, Aiello, Thompson, and Schmidt are all catching up to this.
Tori on the outside. That's a clean pass. Zelich taking the points. Rydell and the Lazy still struggling a bit.
With Christensen behind them. Yeah, I mean, it just seems to me like the track position is really, really important. Because what I'm noticing, even at this circuit compared to the pre-race preseason test at Autopolis, is just overtaking here specifically seems to be really difficult.
Yep. Two main spots appear to be the big braking zone after the drag straight. And that's sort of kink.
Right. But other than that, all the corners are so narrow that it ruins people's pace when they're trying to get caught up to the back of somebody to make the move.
Yeah. Because you need to get the inside line, but it's also slower on the exit.
Exactly, and then everything, there's all the slow corners that have a braking zone here pretty much have a switchback right after them, so you might have the preferred line.
It's like what happened in BTCO for the
Yeah,
final round of
exactly.
the season.
Yeah. Every time you pass somebody, you just get passed right back. It's kind of weird.
Stuck. Trying to go for the lead. He's close now. Might as well wait for the straight.
He's got plenty of time to get it done, and he's fast.
Let's see what lap we are in. It's lap 16 of 22. Ahoy! Joining the battle for the lead. Should pay attention to Hoy because I think he has the most powerful car of the three at the moment. He could breeze past everyone on the straight.
But he has to get that launch that the front-wheel drive cars struggle with out of that chicane onto the drag strip.
Let's see.
And Newhouse is still doing the same thing he was doing in race 1. That car seems fast in a straight line out of there.
This is going to be interesting now. Stuck almost losing lead.
Nice catch.
Oh, I know he's trying to exploit the only weakness of the BMW by attempting a P80 maneuver.
Sure, Stuck is probably annoyed with that because he wants up for the lead, and Hoy's fighting him for second and taking away his chance to get up there.
Yeah, Hoy should wait. Hold on.
If I was Hoy, I would wait until Stuck got Newhouse and then try to take them both.
Exactly. Do not lose time. If they engage themselves and let Newhouse go. Let's see now, Hoy has a good chance. Look at the exit from the corner. Way better than the one there.
But it looks like the Toyota better than both of them. Still doing that thing it was doing last race where it really just pulls away down the main straight quite nicely.
Let's see if we have a back view. Oh, there it is. That's what I wanted. Look at this Hoy trying to find a way. The outside maybe. Look at the traction from the BMW.
Just insane. It looks to me like Stuck and Hoy are going to have the same problem they had last race with Newhouse. They're going to catch all the way through the slow sector here, and then be bunched up too close to take advantage of their higher cornering speed on the main straight and then lose all the time back. Seems to happen pretty consistently.
Oh, he's closer than ever now. That's not enough.
Still one corner on the track that Newhouse is actually the fastest person on the track right now on raw pace, and it's the exact corner that he needs to be the fastest through. It looks like Stuck's losing a little bit of time.
Stuck on the ground. It's Cleland.
Oh no! Poor
It's a
Cleland.
retirement for Cosmo Oil.
In true 1990s fashion, he's just going to leave his car there too.
Yeah, no safety cars. Oof. Seems like he left an opening. And Stuck gets past. It's not over, it's not over.
Around the outside. Gonna have to clear him into turn 1. That's gonna stick, I think.
Yeah,
Now he just needs to make a big enough gap through the first sector to not have Newhouse catch up to him with that straight line advantage down the main straight, and he's got it.
Look at Hoy, already trying. He's on the outside. And yeah,
Ooh, we'll have the
Hoy
inside
got
for the next
past
one. There's a nudge, and he's in, and he's by. Excellent.
2 places in 2 corners.
Got in.
Newhouse must be fuming now. But it's not over between these two.
Well, he's got a good run and he's strong on the brakes, but that BMW handles these higher speed corners really well.
I think it's only chance. There's only 2 chances at this kink. See how it gets closer and closer here. Oh, and got a bad exit. No way.
Put the nose in, but he had to clip the grass to do it, and that's been sucking the car's speed away every time somebody tries that.
Now we're starting lap 20. So 3 more laps. Let's take a look at the back of the field. Miller got past McCrean, which is in a respectable 6th place. Zelich up to 10th place. 2 races for him. Alesi up to 11th.
Biela's all the way down in 24th now. Caston Schmidt just got by him, unfortunately.
Points, unfortunately.
But he was doing such a good job.
Oh, I think Biela has some kind of issue.
Has to be.
Yeah.
He's real slow.
He's
Looks like a tire down. Stuck it. Oh.
Let's see. Yeah, spitting, stuck in a gear. Gearbox failure.
Ah.
Stuck pulling a big gap. The last 3 laps. 2.5 laps, actually. It's not over yet, I'm sure. Let's focus on here for a bit. Great achievement of Colin McRae.
Honestly, doing a really, really good job. I really thought that there was going to be more action throughout the midfield for the points when Tarquini was slowing down that second groups of cars, but looks like Schmidt, Yellow, Thompson, Rydell, Menu, McCain, and Christensen have all just fallen back off of the points-paying positions on raw pace, and they're all spread out from each other.
Yeah. Probably there was some furball there, but we missed it by focusing on the battle for the lead.
Could be. It does seem like what I've noticed so far is the AI are really, really slow in traffic. I mean, Christensen was up in the podium positions last race, and he's down in 17th right now, stuck behind Tarquini in a car that's a couple seconds a lap slower.
Some drivers are better than others, so they were taking.
Right.
There's a stop for that, and it shows. Shakia trying to move on McCree.
Ooh, he's got a nose in, but he's going to have to go through the grass. That might bog him down, maybe? Made it stick.
Nice defense from Attori. Really aggressive. That wasn't necessary.
Totally unnecessary. He would have had it cleared either way. Hopefully that doesn't ruin McRae's left rear suspension or cut his tire down.
Can get some points.
He only has to make one more lap, so even if the car's hurting, hopefully he could make it around. He would have to lose. He'd have to lose another 7 positions to get out of the points.
Yeah, he'll be fine with that. Stuck has sealed the win pretty much at this moment.
Stuck big gap. Will Hoy is the fastest on track, but it took him too long to get back to him.
Hesitate the bag. House in a solid third after a second place in race 1. I think he might be leading the standings. Consistency and speed in this championship.
Absolutely. Stuck and Hoy doing really well. Same with Newhouse.
The last corner.
He's got it.
And that's a win for Smart Power Racing and Nancy Stuck.
Very, very nice to see one of the rear-wheel drive cars grabbing one. Hoy with the bonus point for fastest lap and a really, really nice second. Newhouse doing a good job holding out as long as possible against Hoy and Stuck. And then again, at Brack for the final podium position in third. Brack with a great drive for fourth, excuse me. Muller holding off Sakia and Hattori here for fifth. I believe that's a fifth in both races for Muller.
Maybe.
McRae still holding off Zelli for eighth. Awesome.
And Rose is grabbing a point for Grimaldi Motorsport.
Very, very nice job by him. Tarquini in 16th, just barely off the points, doing a great job. And then this
Schmidt
final...
finishes his first race.
Yay. Really good driver in a really, really bad car there, down in the HRT VW Vento.
It's called HRT for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we have the final standings. Kenny Brack gets the win for the Works Cup. And that screenshot. Let's see what happened to Cleland.
Yep, Bielo's was a gearbox, Cleland was brakes. Interesting.
Yeah, that big straight there put a lot of strain on the brakes today.
Big braking zone.
Bila, we've seen it, got stuck in, I think, in second gear. It was impossible to continue. Hoy gets the additional point for the best lap. And that's it for today. Let me remind you the podium once again. Stuck for Smile Power Racing wins the race 2 of this round. Then Hoy for Gravel Track Racing and Newhouse for MSR.
And it looks like for the Manufacturers Cup, the podium there was Brack.
Yeah. And then Sekia and Rixco, I think.
Nice. So the Raven West car salvaging after a bad track position disadvantage in race 1. And it does seem like with the random grids, it really will shake things up because track position seems to be worth a ton.
Alright, hope you enjoyed. We're probably gonna have the second round race of Italy at Varano right this week after Christmas, so stay tuned. I'll let you know.
Yes, since it's a B-Spec championship, we can kind of do it as fast or as slow as we want to. We don't necessarily have to wait a week between rounds. And then
drivers are always fit.
Exactly, always ready to go.
And that's it. I'm gonna post the standings as soon as I make them. Gonna be tonight or tomorrow at least. Alright, that's all from me and Ted, and see you at the next race.
Bye-bye, guys. Stay safe. Don't let anybody cough on you, and have a good Christmas.